I would like to share with you my philosophy of everything, which could be summed up in this short sentence: nothing is impossible. So, where should we go to begin? Perhaps nowhere. You cannot go nowhere because there is nowhere for you to go. It is not a place, and if it is a place of no place, a place that doesn't really exist, an illusion, like a mirage, a trick of not just the eyes, but of the mind. Nowhere is really now here. There is nowhere for you to go. Movement is impossible. The only place you can logically be is now here. You have always been now here because there is absolutely nowhere else for you to go. Nothing is one word made of two. No thing. And there is no thing that does not exist. Anything must necessarily exist if it is to be anything at all. No thing can not exist. What is a thing? A thing is an object that a person decides not to name or define. What is an object? An object is a material item that can be experienced via the five senses. In other words, physical matter. And physical matter is described as anything that occupies space and has mass. This definition implies by reason that there must be empty space fundamentally in order for matter to exist within, a true nothing. But nothing is impossible. In order to understand what I'm saying to you right now, we will have to perform sort of a thought experiment, an exercise of imagination and intellect, a guided meditation, if you will. Allow yourself to simply experience what I will be telling you, and through this, you will understand everything. What if I told you there is one thing that has no opposite? Everything. You might say, well, the opposite of everything is nothing. But tell me this, if you took everything there is and rolled it into a ball, what would be outside of the ball waiting to oppose it? There is no thing apart from this ball of everything. It can have no opposite because it is all that exists. Nothing, the concept or the idea, is an illusion. Allow me to demonstrate. Take a look at your screen. Now, tell me, what do you see? Nothing? Now, look again. Tell me, now what did you see? Nothing? Let's take another look together, shall we? Look very, very closely at the image on your screen. Do you see what I see? This appears at first glance to be a simple white screen. But what if I told you this is one of the most complex images you will ever see? You could spend an entire lifetime studying this image for what it really is. What if I told you that this is actually not just a simple white screen, but instead is a true representation of infinite space and time? This is infinity itself. This is everything there is, all rolled into a ball. This is the stuff of dreams. This is the source of all things. Here is everything in its full form, ready to be made into anything. Everything is the only thing that can transform into anything. For nothing, this is impossible. Look again, deeply into the image, and tell me, can you see where it begins and where it ends? Or does this white space just go on forever with no end in sight? This white space is light, pure, untainted light, consciousness. It appears to be empty, but this space is filled, occupied by the light of consciousness. Now that you can see this, let's look at what you believe to be nothing, the simple black screen. Now you may say to yourself, wow, look at how this blackness, this darkness, also stretches on forever, with no end and no beginning. But it is an illusion. There is no depth here, because this is a shadow. Now think of how a shadow is created. Light comes from the source, the sun, and allows what we call matter to be seen, and it also gives everything it needs for growth and generation. It creates and allows what it creates to be seen. When light shines onto an object, the object blocks the light, casting a shadow onto the wall. So, looking at this image and believing that this nothing has depth would be the same as looking at a shadow of a tree and believing that the shadow of the tree is the tree itself and the actual tree is the shadow. See how confused and lost a person would be? This is a shadow, an illusion. Now, back to the white space, infinity, everything. Look again deeply into this image. Allow yourself to step into this white space mentally. Leave your body behind. Welcome to the source of everything. So glad that you're here. Let's take the grand tour and answer any questions you might have. First, look around. Could you tell we just spun 360 degrees? Probably not. What did you notice? Nothing? Incorrect. You must mean no thing. That's because here, everything is one thing. So there is no thing that stands out. So while you are here, you know or experience all things there is to know simultaneously. Omniscient. Yes, you. Now, follow me. Just kidding. Movement is impossible here. But even if it were possible, it would be pointless since here, every place is one place. So anywhere you could go would be the same place you came from. What does this mean? It means that while you are here, you are everywhere there is to be simultaneously. Omnipresent. Yes, you. Don't worry, you'll get it. Since we are where we started, tell me, what did you notice when you first arrived? You say, there is no thing to notice. Now, since then, have you not also noticed that you noticed no thing was noticeable? What is it exactly that notices these unnoticeable things? The only thing here is everything. Haven't you noticed this? And haven't you noticed that you are here? And knowing that you are here, doesn't this tell you that you are everything? You are the source. This is your true nature, your true body, consciousness. Consciousness is everything, shining forth its brilliant light, allowing all things to be and be perceived. And because consciousness is everything, nothing is impossible. But what are the true ramifications of this? This shows that what we commonly believe to be nothing is just an illusion, a shadow. Many people believe that experience is not possible without a body, and that when the body dies, we go nowhere and are tossed into nothing. We go into the black screen, you could say. But they are mistaking everything for nothing. And this is a huge mistake indeed. How could you mistake everything for nothing? Well, if you were to experience what it would be like to become everything that there is all at one time, you would discover that it would be impossible for you to experience anything other than yourself, since you are all of it. This means total isolation. You're completely alone because you contain within consciousness everything there is. You can only experience you. In this white space, time is infinite. You can't tell if 1 second or a trillion years has passed by, and eventually you lose time altogether. Being here for long enough and not remembering ever experiencing anything else, you would eventually lose yourself and then have to find it again. And this potential, this omnipotence, is only possible because nothing is impossible. If you imagined the black as the absence of light or color, then all colors or light combined would be the white. So in the white screen, all of the possible colors and variations of combinations of those colors exist already and are pouring through without limit. Raw consciousness input. You could form any image out of this white space simply by limiting the amount of certain colors in the pixels. Form is a result of these limits placed on the limitless, formless substance of everything called consciousness. This is what you will become when you lose your form. Formless, waiting to realize all of this for yourself. When you get there, which is now, here, all just to get back where you are at this moment. Now, here. Until next time, I hope you continue to free your mind.